the characteristics that define people as individuals. Some of these characteristics include race, age, beliefs, gender, education, and thinking style. Intercultural communication. The process of sending and receiving messages between people whose cultural backgrounds could lead them to interpret verbal and nonverbal signs differently. Developing cultural competency. What is cultural competency? An appreciation for cultural differences that affect communication and the ability to adjust one's communication style to ensure that efforts to send and receive messages across cultural boundaries are successful. In other words, it requires a combination of attitude, knowledge, and skills. Culture. It influences the way you prioritize what is important in life, and it also establishes rules of behavior. It also shared symbols, beliefs, attitudes, values, expectations, and norms of behaviors. Overcoming ethnocentrism and stereotyping. Ethnocentrism is a tendency to judge all other groups according to the standards, behaviors, and customs of one's own group. Another definition for ethnocentrism will be when someone believes that his or her culture or ethnic group is superior to others. Stereotyping, assigning generalized attributes to an individual on the basis of membership in a particular group. Some examples of stereotypes will be racial marks, sexual remarks, and gender remarks. Cultural pluralism, acceptance of multiple cultures in their own terms. You can also avoid ethnocentrism and stereotyping by avoiding assumptions. Don't assume they'll act the same way like you, use language or symbols the same way you do, or even operate from the same values and beliefs like you. Avoid judgments. When people act differently, don't think that they're wrong. Acknowledge distinctions.
Recognizing variations in a diverse world. There are 8 main types of cultural differences. Contextual differences. High context culture. People rely less on verbal communication and more on the context of non-verbal actions and environmental setting to convey meaning. The primary role of communication in high context culture is building relationship. Low context culture. Information is communicated primarily through language, and rules are explicitly spelled out. One example is United States. The primary task of communication in low context cultures is exchanging information. Legal and ethical differences. Legal standards are based on written law, while ethical standards are based on human rights and wrong. Both legal system and ethical standards differ from culture to culture. You can keep your messages ethical by applying 4 basic principles. Actively seek mutual ground. Send and receive messages without judgment. Send messages that are honest. Show respect for cultural differences. Social differences. The nature of social behavior can vary from culture to culture in the following areas: attitude toward work and success, roles and status, use of manners, future orientation, openness and inclusiveness. Non-verbal differences. When you have the opportunity to interact with people in another culture, the best advice is to study the culture in advance and then observe the way people behave in the following area: greetings, personal space, touching, facial expressions, eye contact, posture, formality. Following the lead of people who grew up in the culture is not only a great way to learn, but a good way to show respect as well. Age differences. In US culture, youth is often associated with strength, energy, possibilities, and freedom. While in Asian societies, the oldest employees hold the most powerful jobs, the most expressive titles, and the greatest degree of freedom and decision-making authority. Today's workplaces can have 3 or even 4 generations working side by side. Gender differences. Gender influences workplace communication in several important ways. First, the perception of men and women in business varies from culture to culture, and gender biases can range from overt discrimination to subtle and even unconscious belief. Second, the ratio of men and women in entry-level professional positions. Some men in executive positions are having a hard time to mentor women, partly because they find it easier to bond with other men. Third, men and women tend to have somewhat different communication style. For men, they emphasize content and outcome in their communication effort, whereas women place a higher premium to relationship maintenance. Religious differences. Religion is one of the most personal and influential aspects of life. Many employees believe they should be able to follow and express the tenets of their faith in the workplace. However, companies may need to accommodate employee behaviors that can conflict with each other. The situation is complicated and is expected to be discussed in the coming years. Ability differences. People whose hearing, vision, cognitive ability, or physical activity can be a significant disadvantage in today's workplaces. However, employees can invest in a variety of assistive technology. Assistive technologies can give them opportunities to pursue a greater range of career paths and giving employers access to a broader base of talent.
Adapting to other business culture. Guidelines to adapt to any business culture. Number 1. Be aware of your own biases. Understand your own culture. Shapes your communication habits and successful intercultural communication. Number 2. Ignore the golden rule. Other people don't want the same treatment as you do. Treat people the way they want to be treated. Number 3. Exercise tolerance, flexibility, and respect. Number 4. Practice patience and keep a good sense of humor. It overlooks cultural blunders, moves past awkward and embarrassing moments, and makes apologies made easier. Guidelines to adapt to U.S. business culture. Number 1. Individualism. It encourages individual success. Teamwork is emphasized, but individual competition is preferable. Number 2. Equality, an American core value. Privacy, a custom, personal, and respect. This is number 3, privacy and personal space with a fair amount of them. Number 4, time and schedules. Please arrive on time and end on time during a meeting. Number 5, religion. Now there's no official state religion, but there is quite many, so please respect each other's beliefs. Number 6, communication style. Now you must be direct, must focus on satisfaction, but in sacrifice to have less relationships and less group harmony.
Social media isn't just for entertainment. Social media marketing is a form of internet marketing that uses social media apps, such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as marketing tools. This kind of marketing lets organizations connect to their audiences to increase sales, drive website traffic, and build a community of followers. There are many best practices that businesses can follow to get the results they want. Click the link above or in the description box below for some social media marketing tips. While there are definitely advantages to social media marketing, there are disadvantages as well. Pros include reaching a wider audience. There are more than 3.6 billion users across all social media channels, so a single post can increase brand exposure beyond the impact of traditional marketing efforts. Improvement in customer satisfaction. Social media provides more than just an avenue for marketing. It also provides a way to engage with customers and create one-to-one relationships. And gaining better insights. Each social media platform has analytics and reporting features that can give organizations information about who their followers are, what content they are interested in, and how they like to engage with a brand. Cons, on the other hand, include things like it's time-consuming. Marketing teams need to constantly fill the calendar with new content and respond to customer inquiries and comments on social media apps. This can make it difficult for small marketing teams to get the full benefit of social media marketing. Organizations need qualified resources. It takes the right person or team to run a social media marketing program. Skilled and seasoned marketers are preferred for this role over entry-level candidates. And brand reputation is vulnerable on social media. Customers often take to social media to vent their frustrations with a brand. And because social media apps are very public, anything a company says or does will be seen and reacted to. What is your organization's experience with social media marketing? Share your thoughts in the comments, and be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons.